River State Sole Administrator Vice Admiral Ibas, retired, has stated that it is unfortunate that the presiding overseer of the Global Community Citadel Church, Pastor Tunde Bakare, was using the period of Easter to sow discord. ATN reports that Pastor Bakare raised an alarm that the country under President Bola Tinubu is descending into tyranny and brazen abuse of. Bakare also pointed to the state of emergency declared in River State by President Tinubu as a clear example of what he termed a theater of the absurd. He slammed both the president's actions and the National Assembly, which he accused of endorsing the measure. According to Bakare, the National Assembly has become the most spineless in Nigeria's history, allowing for the president's actions to go unchecked. In an interview with Newsmen, the senior special assistant on media to the River State Sole Administrator, Hector Ibikyuwubo, said the Ibas-led administration would not be distracted by Bakare's comment. Ibikyuwubo maintains that such remarks neither added value to the discussion nor helped the peace-building process in River State. He added that Pastor Bakare ought to use the Easter season to preach peace rather than using the opportunity to sow the seeds of discord and to foment trouble. Well, Dr. Paul Nwala, I don't know if you actually saw the video of the Pastor Bakare, making those statements. All right. Well, from what we've just read so far, I mean, what's your thought as regards to, Ibas, slamming Bakare, saying that he's trying to sow discord based on his comments on his sermon, during the Easter celebration?
Victor, in Nigerian system, we, especially the political class, hardly tolerate criticism.
Okay.
All they want is whether things are going well or not, you have to support them, rather than reacting on the issues which Bakare raised by, I don't know whether I would say attacking or opposing Bakare's view. I think he should have drawn a lesson from there and then see if those allegations are real, and where they are not real, you move on. Where there are some elements of truth in what have been said, you work on that. It is also true that the Pastor Bakare's statement at the timing may be wrong, because the season we are celebrating is a season that calls for peace, calls for forgiveness. So using such opportunity to speak the other way around, one may not really see it as a good timing. Perhaps if you had spoken about this earlier on, it would have been more admitted than a season where we are talking about reconciliation, talking about Easter, talking about forgiveness. It should have been a call for the needful to be done. If condemnations has taken place regarding the state of emergency and the way political affairs are being handled within the country, all those issues have been identified. What we should be expecting is the way forward.
Okay. Well, Bakare also made a statement that the presidency is descending into tyranny. That's a very strong statement there. And also considering the fact that he's at some point influential, being a pastor, not just a pastor, but a lead pastor and all of that. Could his remarks now about this tyranny under President Tinubu impact public perception, in River State? What would you make?
The issue there, if not for the timing, just like as I've said, when his statement is coming out, the timing is not actually right. But talking about things that he has pointed out, he's entitled to his opinion. And
but using such strong words.
I'm coming. There are times you will use strong words, it will count. There are periods that such strong words are not supposed to be used. If we look at what is going on in Nigeria, the way the administrative system is going, the sufferings, the killings, the anomalies, Then you also look at even the recent appointments that are in the public domain now, favoring one side.
All right.
Then you also look at usurping the powers, even of the courts, Supreme Court, and making yourself to be exercising supremacy over everything that happens. Your say is the final. It's no longer what the law says. So when one look at some of these attributes, such strong words could be used. Such strong words could be used when you look at some of the indices.
All right. In this context now, are you saying it's right for him to use such statement in this context?
That I will still repeat is that the timing, if it was when this issue was boiling,
okay,
imposing, dethroning a democratically elected leaders, and then imposing, suspending democratically elected leaders, and then imposing a sole administrator, it can be classified as part of what a tyrannical leader could use.
All right.
So that's why I said the timing now is not right, because when this issue was burning, okay, you look at also your house is on fire. Where is the president? I don't know if you got what I'm saying. Well, you leave the issue of the law and you are using a proclamation, okay, using unconstitutional means. So it's an attribute of what can classify one to say, oh, this person is heading towards a tyrannical
That's part
leadership.
of the story for discussion for today. Actually, we'll come to that. Okay. Well, over to you now, Varioma Raphael. Let me get your thoughts as regards to this. Are you in agreement with what Pastor Bakar is saying, or would you rather align your thought to what Ibas is saying, the sole administrator of River State? Would you rather align to his thoughts of, looking at Bakari, as his words, looking at his words as trying to sow discord, in River State? What would you make of this story?
Mr. Victor, if you look at it clearly, in this generation, it's very hard to see the people who will come up to say the truth, especially the elders of the generation. More that's the issue we're having. So what Pastor Bakari said is the right thing. Yeah, because look, him serving as a clergy is a better way to talk to the audience, a way to inform them that they should know that what is happening in the state or in the country is not really good. Because they are standing for the people. They are standing between the government and the people.
All right, sorry, I'm going to interject at that point in time. Now, that's the same, thing we've been arguing with Dr. Paul Umala now. For him, you said he stands in the right position to address people as regards to that.
Yeah.
Now, is it appropriate for him to raise up these issues whilst the Christians, faithfuls, are celebrating the Easter period, which was supposed to be meant for reconciliation, for forgiveness, and love and unity display?
Yeah, but if you observe the reason why Christ came and he died for humanity or Christian, it was basically to save human life or to save mankind. So in this period of celebration too, is to remind us as a Christian to whatever things we pass through, we should create that awareness, a way to save others too. That's where the forgiveness comes in. So
and creating this awareness, it means that you should slam, the leader. No, is that what you mean?
The leader is coming up because it's a person. So if you look at it, it wasn't basically his topic, the whole topic he was talking about. That came on board or came in as he was preaching, because a pastor cannot quickly go and be discussing the whole governmental issues as he's preaching. But that came in out of his preaching.
Well, here is a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Is the state of emergency in River State justified? What would you say?
Let me get it clear. If you can use another language, let me understand where you're coming from.
Okay, what I'm saying is we are right now, actually, we are under a state of emergency, right?
Yes, yeah.
Now the question is it justified? Because a lot of people have said, okay, this is undemocratic and is unconstitutional, suspending, elected governor into power and then imposing or declaring a state of emergency and also putting up a sole administrator to take control of the affairs of the state. From your own perspective, I want to know, what's your perspective? Do you think the state of emergency, being placed or declared in River State is correct or is right?
It's not right. That's why I knew why I told you to make it very clear.
All right.
The point is, looking at River State, there is fully peace in River State. Even at a point, if you look at what the statement of the suspended governor as of yesterday towards this Easter celebration, he said he was calling the people of River State or the nation to support the presidency.
Okay, well,
that's a way of saying there is fully peace, because the suspended governor really support peace, and he have been preaching peace from time.
Well, just for clarity's sake, so that our audience would have a better view of what we're discussing now. Well, if you said it's not justifiable, right, the placement of the state of emergency in River State. Now the question is, does Bakar's criticism of the state of emergency in River State, he criticizes and said it is a theater of the absurd. Does it hold merit based on the current situation?
It is.
That's
the point is, I said it earlier, in this our generation, the 21st century, it's very much hard to see the elders who will come up to say the truth, to point out things that are wrong in the society. Because at this point in time, people say, overlook it. If you can't fight them, if you can't fight them, you should join them. So that's the principle we are working with now. So you see elderly men or leaders or clergy who may be able to point out things that are wrong in the society. They keep on, adapting to such situation whereby they see the truth and they will dodge it.
So
because of ambition.
Where was Bakar when all of this started?
Yeah, the point of view is he can't be able to to revise it. But the point is, him as a leader or a clergy, he have his people, the population is leading. So he should be able to tell them the truth and how they should react to what is happening in the society. Well, which is to say, if they are opportune to handle any of these positions, they should focus on the truth. They should reject the wrongdoings.
Before the imposition of the state of emergency, we've been hearing about the feuds, between the Probike and the Fubara team and all of that. Now, did he ever made any mention of this feud? Did he ever come out to call for peace, to call for reconciliation between this duo?
This is what we call a political internal crisis. It happens everywhere.
And all those states have a clergy.
All those states have the same issue.
Political...
Okay, we'll have the same thing in Lagos.
Right.
In Lagos, so we have the same thing in Osun State.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have the same thing in Plateau. We'll have the same thing in other states of Nigeria. So we can't point out the River State own as what will now lead to the state of emergency. What about other states? Okay, like I put it the Benue State, where they're killing every day. Is there any state of emergency? But the one in River State where there is peace, people are doing their businesses. The governor have done a lot of projects where the masses are fully happy with him. And you're saying they should call the state of emergency. It's just a way for them to come and share the money.
Okay. Well, Dr. Paul Nwala, let me come to you now. How might Ibas, response to Bakare affect the delicate political balance, we are facing here in River State, especially during a sensitive period such as Easter?
I'm not surprised in the way he responded, because it's a way to counter the statements from Pastor Bakari. Perhaps if what Bakari have stated may sink into the minds of Rivers people and increase the rejection of a sole administrator.
All right.
So his response is in a way to see how he could convince the people of Rivers State to discard such a statement coming from Pastor Bakari, so that his own interest as well, and then his position as the sole administrator can be protected.
All right.
Because it's like many calls have been going on regarding the illegality of him coming as a sole administrator, against the suspension of the elected officials.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly what? Sorry?
Your thought. That's your thought. I mean, what you're saying.
No, there's something you say allegedly. Let me understand where you say allegedly.
You said there are so many things that are illegally happening.
Okay, that's what I said.
It's not confirmed.
No,
it's
not
at this point.
So many things that, illegally because of his coming.
All right.
His coming is illegal, is where I am emphasizing.
And
then because of that, we have been seeing protests, counter protests. Then we have also seen oppositions and supports. We have also seen utterances, including the statement that is being made now by Pastor Bakar. All is heating up. And in order to save himself from the situation and then see how Rivers people can accept him, allow him to do whatever work he has been called or asked to do. So he has to respond in that manner.
All right. So what role do you think religious leaders, should play? Someone just like Bakar is coming out to speak now, considering the fact that we had this feud happening before the state of emergency, but he never for once, made any statement as regards to the feuds in River State. But now he's coming, and look at the words he's using at a very sensitive period such as this. Again, what do you think might be the role of religious leaders, or should be the role of religious leaders when it comes to political discourse, and what should they focus on? Should they focus on peace building, or better still continue to criticize the government?
You see, there are some criticisms that could pave way or consider to be part of peace building.
All right.
When something is going wrong and you are speaking for it to be stopped, if it eventually stops, you are towing the line of peace building. But where something is going wrong and you keep quiet, what are you doing? You are encouraging the escalation of such to the point where it will now become a bomb that will explode. The only problem I have with his statement is the time frame when this statement is coming.
All right.
That is it. Then concerning the roles of religious leaders, I just wish that the religious leaders will arise. Religion, according to Kamas, is the opium of the masses. There is I doubt if there is anybody that doesn't belong to one religion group or the other. So, and followers have a way of listening to their leader. So, if the religious leader, we are not just talking about Christianity. If we are talking the religious leader or religious group, Christian-based, Muslim-based, traditionally and otherwise, can rise to speak the truth. Most of these issues that we are confronted with will be prevented. Right. But unfortunately, it's like the religious leaders are quiet. It's not only on the religious leader. Traditional rulers too are quiet. Socio-cultural group leaders are quiet. Not forgetting that their impact, speaking out at the moment when things are going wrong, has a lot in terms of contributing positively towards societal transformation.
All right.